don't forget that we are in a metropolitan. This is how we live.
Oh, I understand.
Is exactly like fucking Braveheart. There's the major Mel Gibson place.
Yeah.
But then you got to run through the rest of the country. You're running through the mountains to get the Skaguga clan to join you in society. These motherfuckers are
Patrice running. Rocky Mountains. Iowa.
and I've been to those places, and cosmopolitan white people. There's only about 5 cities in this country: New York, Philadelphia, Boston, Washington D.C., which is not really a city.
Say Atlanta.
Chicago, Atlanta,
Detroit.
No, not Detroit.
San Francisco. And Vegas, Nevada, and only because Vegas is in it. Now, I'm offend a couple of cities. Now, there's going to be, well, what about, I've been there, man. Minnesota should have to, a lot of these places should have to sign up to be
part of the country.
What's wrong with us going down to 42 states? Why the fuck
do we get
does
to take
South and North Dakota get to be anything?
Do we get to take over their state, though?
Yeah,
or does it just stay there as a black hole?
We just swallow it up to the next. Illinois can swallow up some other towns and make a mega town. And they follow the lead from New York and fucking Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Until there's no more of that dead bullshit in the middle.
Those ridiculous human beings, those drones that walk around the middle of the country.
Off the top of your head, what state should get bigger and what state should get smaller?
The bigger should...
New York?
Ready?
Yeah.
New England should be called Boston.
Okay. So that takes Vermont, New Hampshire,
Maine, Rhode Island gets swallowed up by Boston, and
Massachusetts gets swallowed up.
Fuck the states.
Right.
This should be Connecticut and Jersey should be called New York. Pittsburgh should be called Philadelphia. The entire Pennsylvania should be called Philadelphiaville.
You just took care of the Northeast really quickly. All right, now work down the coast.
Holy shit.
The rest of the Northeast.
Delaware.
I mean, the rest of the East Coast.
Maryland.
Baltimore should be called... Baltimore should be called... That whole area should be called Washington, D.C. town.
You throw Virginia in there?
Florida should be called Miami.
Yes.
That is it. Spread Miami as far, make beaches, do whatever you need to do, but make that entire... North Carolina can stay. There's something that should be there.
So there's no
South Carolina?
So who gets South Carolina?
No driving.
North Carolina.
All right, that's an easy one.
So if you're driving cross country, you're constantly in some cool...
You're in a place...
Things are going on.
You're not going to some weird...
What about the weird middle of the country?
That's what I'm saying.
Handle that?
But you have to... I think that makes Chicago...
The West Coast?
The entire Midwest.
The entire Midwest is just Chicago.
Okay.
So
Indiana.
If you're in Tennessee, you're in Chicago.
Yes. Texas stays
Kansas. Chicago.
Kansas is Chicago. Any town you can't fly to in a big plane, can't get to Kansas City in a big plane. You're not a fucking town. You're not... Chicago.
Connecting flight means...
Connecting flight. International... Who the fuck? Nebraska don't get to say they have an international airport, nigga. Because fucking Canadian planes land there. Suck a dick, man.
What about Montana, Wyoming?
You know who gets them?
Yeah.
You share it between Oregon and Washington. Washington, because Seattle's real.
Yeah.
And Portland is real.
Right.
They swallow up that entire Wyoming, South Dakota,
Idaho,
all of that nonsense.
All that shit.
They get swallowed the fuck up.
And Denver.
Denver stays. Denver's a major
and
town.
Denver sucks up the four corners, all that shit.
Now, what's next to Denver?
Yeah, Denver's got fucking Utah. Colorado has Utah next to it. And then I think a little piece of...
Utah? Denver gets...
So Denver...
Utah becomes Denverville?
Salt Lake City even? Like, that's gone. It's now Denver.
No.
Nebraska, too. Yeah, Nebraska.
Come on, man. I'm dead ass.
Up.
Now, I know you from there, but I don't defend Boston. I'm from Boston. I don't fucking get ultra defensive. But these places, Maine and New Hampshire.
Arizona's LA.
Wait a minute. You know it takes only 4 hours to drive through every state in New England. Eat ass. Why would Rhode Island waste our time being a state?
You can get through that in an hour.
I can understand 250 years ago, maybe, but not now.
You can cut through Connecticut to get to New York. You can completely avoid Rhode Island for your entire life.
When people were riding horses, it made sense. Because, you know, it took a while. But now with cars and planes, why fucking small states?
Fuck you and your local. What do they call that shit? Your local regional fucking nonsense.
Thinking.
So the Super Bowl would just be great. That's it. We're giant. We need to stop this bullshit.
Giant states.
But
cities.
I got
Not
one more
states. Cities. Yeah.
You got to handle Texas.
Texas is stays because Dallas is a
mother.
Texas.
What does it grab?
What does it grab?
Oh my God! Oklahoma's
Dallas,
there.
San Antonio.
New Mexico. It's got to grab New Mexico.
Fucking A.
And Arizona.
Texas gets New Mexico.
Arizona becomes L.A.
Arizona is now Los Angeles. Reno can be San Francisco. Texas gets everything that it connects to.
Around it, right. Okay.
To take some pressure off of Chicago.
Right, being Chicago with the whole Midwest.
And Denver.
Yeah, okay.
Texas can take a lot of things.
And my final question, how many states we go down to?
That's what I don't have a...
It would be about 5-6 states.
Good.
Good.
That's about it.
What about Hawaii and Alaska?
Hawaii stays. Alaska can fucking go. Alaska's why?
Canada or Russia.
Get out of here.
Kenny,
we can sell them that.
Oh, Kenny.
I don't want to break up the funny, but there is a National Geographic special about this, and like how the states got developed and why the borders are why they are.
Really?
Yeah, like I fell asleep watching it. That's how good it is.
Of course you did.
But it's like the Erie Canal.
Your TV fell asleep watching you.
Like big cities built up commerce. Because in the old days they could just go down rivers and stuff, and that's
so
why.
Are you supporting that we changed what we did back then?
No, I'm just saying people back then was fucked up.
Right,
that's why
it was based pretty much on geography and what people had to do to get through rivers and over mountains and things like that.
All right, Danny kept track. So you got the United States of Patrice. You got New York, Boston, Philadelphiaville, Washington, D.C. town, Miami, Chicago, Texas, Denverville,
San Francisco. L.A.
L.A. and
you got L.A.
and Portland.
Can I see a map, please? Because I could do this with a map. I need to see a map because I'll tell you. Right. I'll tell you what doesn't. I've been there. It's
makes a lot of sense.
It's just like subdivisions.
It's
subdivisions.
It's time to consolidate this country.
Stop this shit.
Yeah.
Stop this fucking shit.
And then you could get rid of so many politicians because then it's just you don't need a representative from every fucking little district and fucking. It'd be great.
Now I see this. This is fantastic.
Here's the state.
Texas gets. Oh Lord, have mercy. Texas gets Louisiana, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Kansas, and Colorado. Sucked in by fucking Texas.
One big Texas.
California, which would be Los Angeles, gets Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. Colorado gets sucked in by Texas. Colorado don't get because Denver is a bad motherfucker, but it's just not enough. Washington and Oregon split. Wyoming, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota gets all sucked up, and we will call it all because we'll make Seattle be we'll make Portland be a subdivision of Washington, of Portland. So So Portland will be now Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Idaho will now be called Portland.
Wow, that's huge.
Now we have.
All right, moving over.
We have Chicago.
Okay.
Illinois Chicago will be now consist of Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, and Missouri. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Michigan and Wisconsin?
Michigan's in there. All of that is now called Chicago.
All right.
New York will be Pennsylvania. No.
What happened to...
Wait a minute. No. New York will be... Shit.
Jersey,
New
Connecticut.
York will be New England and Connecticut.
Holy shit.
So... Fuck.
Wait, start from
No, wait.
You got this figured out. Go to the top. Go to Maine and work your way down now. You got the Boston thing figured
Because
out.
New York is so important.
Yes.
Why doesn't New York grab up? It should be as big as swallowing up.
Hold on, I got it.
Texas.
I got it too.
I
New
got
York
it.
should eat Ohio and Michigan.
And Rhode Island and Connecticut and Jersey.
And Maine.
You give
Boston.
us Rhode Island.
And let's take New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, as New England and Boston.
Yeah, you just take that shit over.
We're taking fucking parts of Canada.
Yeah, you could take that shit over for Boston.
No borders.
I think this may, and only because it's supposed to be a cosmopolitan city, but this may fuck up everything. Boston, I put it in the same thing as Denver. The entire Massachusetts is not important enough. I say New York eats it all.
And all
Boston is a subdivision, just like Seattle is a subdivision of Portland is a subdivision of Seattle. But they have still, I'm Portland, but that whole shit.
It belongs to
Seattle, really.
So now New York.
Professor Patrice, what happens to the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry?
They got to get together.
Yeah.
And wait.
How is that going to happen?
We can have, wait a minute, we can still have sports. I'm talking about, look it, there's going to be some shit going on. And then we have to maybe, wait a second, because football, basketball, all these things are old too. We should start to develop some new, more powerful sports.
More powerful.
Some fucking sports.
For example.
That where these 7 motherfuckers that
Big
play
ass,
or whatever, it's some major shit going on. And it'll be, we can, instead of 11 guys playing football, let's have 33 on each side. Let's fucking...
How big's the field?
Humongous, nigga. Imagine how big the one in Texas is going to be. We can just turn Iowa into a stadium.
Just for sports. All right, so New York takes everything above it and Jersey.
I think Philadelphia gets some things. Philadelphia gets West Virginia. Philadelphia can have Ohio, and Philadelphia can have...
That's about it. It should get Jersey, I guess.
I guess Philadelphia
close.
And we'll
maybe
go
split Jersey in half.
And we make Miami will be Alabama.
Georgia.
It will be South Carolina. It will be Tennessee, and North Carolina gets to survive. North Carolina will be part of D.C. So D.C. now will be made of Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, and Kentucky. That will be called Charlotte. Or no, D.C. Town. That would be D.C. Town.
D.C. Town.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I'm in. I like this.
Yes.
I like big change like that.
Oh, my God.
That's good.
Can you imagine this?
I'm in.
This actually
When do we vote on this
and
referendum?
we erase this shitty fucking these lines.
All those imaginary lines have to go.
All of that
Stupid.
shit.
We make new imaginary lines because we can.
And you know what? And we shut down all those shitty highways, those halfway. It's just a big 95 that
Major.
shoots through a big ass 580, a big ass 1, and you fucking deal with that, and you make the fucking highways 50 lanes, and that's the infrastructure.
Just big. Everything's got to be big.
50 lane highways.
50
That'd be
lanes.
really confusing
That
if
is
you
fantastic.
had to get over to the right.
The United Areas of America.
United Areas.
And if Canada wants to get in it, we'll take you over and figure that shit out too.
I love it.
For real, man. It's just nonsense, all these fucking...
It is. I've never heard it put quite this way, but yeah, that would be a major change to run on. Now, you're talking change. That's a fucking change to...
There you go.
But Chicago...
Why are we still being traditional?
Yeah. Patrice, Chicago very mad on the phones. And
why?
He's saying...
It's Chicagoland.
The whole thing is Chicago.
Find out.
You get Wisconsin?
Yeah, you dummy.
I don't know. He lives there. John in Chicago. Why are you mad? This makes perfect sense.
Well, we don't want any of those other fucking states.
You got to take him, dude. You got to take him.
He doesn't want him.
You think New York wants New Hampshire?
No.
But here's the thing. Listen, Chicago guy. You are taxed with the responsibility of teaching North Dakota
to be Chicago.
To be better.
And to be Chicago.
Stop being North Dakota.
Build some giant buildings and...
The only one we want is Wisconsin, so we can enslave those.
This is the problem.
What
it's going to be
the,
fucked up.
What about the
all kind of rapes and shit.
Hold on. What about the new slavery? If you're changing the whole fucking thing.
Subjugation? Come on, that's just a people thing. I'm not trying to say you should go.
What state do we get the new slaves from?
He's just...
If you had to. If you had to. This is if you had to.
Holy shit.
We're starting over, and we're making these humongous states. Might need slaves to build the 50-lane highways.
Borders are being changed. You can't bring back slavery.
No, motherfucker, we finally got them. Who's going to build the 50-lane highways? What state we get the slaves from?
Oh, wow, indentured service. That's true.
We sacrifice one state and take all those slaves from there.
Okay, all right. You had to have me think for a minute. Okay.
Danny put that
back up there.
This is called a if you had to scenario.
Okay, here's the situation.
We need people
out of the new state of Seattle. Was it Portland or Seattle?
Portland.
Out of the new state of Portlandville.
Right. You're right.
Who's the weakest state? Who would you say is the weakest link state?
I'm saying right away Idaho.
Bam, they the slaves.
So we get all our slaves from Idaho.
Idaho the slaves.
To build the 50-lane highways, super highways.
In Texasville?
Yeah. Wait, we could just get
What's
them from
the weakest
place?
state? Nah, because not enough people in Idaho. Idaho got to do the shit in Portland.
All right.
That's Portland infrastructure.
I gotta say, the South's pretty fucking uppity. So I'm gonna say New Mexico.
Will be
I'm going the
Texasville.
other way. Yeah.
Yeah, Texasville will get New Mexico because that belongs to Texas.
Right.
So they'll get their slaves from
New
Mexico.
So I would say New Hampshire and Maine will be the slaves from New Yorkville.
Yeah.
And Boston, just to get a perk, since we did dismiss them, they will be the overseers. So Phillyville will let it will be we will go Jesus, it's gonna be a lot of mad motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, I see where you're going here.
I would probably say Ohio.
I was thinking the same thing.
Will be the slaves.
Yeah.
And they will fix Phillyville.
Sorry, Cleveland.
Ugh.
It's a big market. That's a big market for it.
Well,
if LeBron was still there, we might go West Virginia.
Shit.
What about LeBron going back to Cleveland, by the way?
What do you mean?
You saw the game, right?
No, that was
sad, wasn't it? It was sad for those people.
They realized something really.
I think they realized.
There's two things they realized.
Yeah.
He's really good, and he should have left. Because that team now looks.
I think Cleveland's 7-17 this year.
It's just sad.
And Miami has pretty much the exact opposite record.
And they're 18 and they're getting
like
better.
That.
They're just amazing.
They're figuring it out, right?
They're figuring it out.
And LeBron was shit talking the whole fucking time. You see him going up to the bench and whispering
those were his
shit.
kids, man. They knew. And Cleveland, I bet you Cleveland is less mad now after they see that he should have left. Because what chance does he got with that team? That means. The way they got beat means that LeBron couldn't even have really sat on the bench. They just have nothing, man. And it's sad. It's sad, you know.
Not to take away from your giant, humongous state.
Well,
it's fine. It's fine.
I can't wait till this actually gets picked up and comes to fruition.
Someone's saying you're brilliant because you could drive through all of New Hampshire and New England, in 8 hours, and it takes you 14 to go across Texas.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
So your logic is right there.
It's like I might be off
no
at
reason,
4, but it's so short to.
There's no reason why they didn't make that all one state back.
It don't make no sense.
Back in the day.
It makes no sense to have a South and a North Dakota. It's archaic. It's what they call draconian.
Yes.
Logic.
Draconian.
It's senseless shit.
Why? It's like shit that's based on
North
stuff
and
that
South Dakota
was forever ago.
North and South Carolina for what? Nonsense.
Confusing. It's like street signs that are like South.
At least change
South
it
Elm
to Dakota
and North Elm.
Just say Dakota.
Just call it Dakota.
They
make it one
knocked down
thing.
that fucking stupid wall in Germany. Jesus.
At least start easy and just go Dakota.
Yeah.
Dakota.
Carolina. At least start there and see how people like it.
Virginia.
You know. Go slow with this thing.
I like it.
Go slow.
I know there's a lot of angry motherfuckers because they just
They take their state pride.
Yeah, they just take that shit and
Sorry.
And Vermont and New Hampshire looks exactly the same. One's upside down. That's it. So turn that into one. That's an easy change right away.
It's a nice square.
Yeah, make it into a nice
Nice
square
square
state.
state.
Massachusetts really is a mess other than
Boston.
I'm gonna tell you how I'll tell you how bad Massachusetts is. You meet somebody from Massachusetts, they go, "Hey, I'm from Boston."
Right.
Where? Springfield? That's 2.5 hours away. Where you from? Peabody? That's not Boston,
You're not from
motherfucker.
Boston.
You're from the surrounding area.
God, that's funny, man.
So true.
Stop
Oh,
it.
shit, that is so true. Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, fucking...
Look how you can feel. You know, you can really feel the anger.
Framingham.
Because I've been to those places. But you know who's only angry about this?
Who?
The
people that are getting sucked up.
Yeah, the fucking...
And do you remember?
Drones.
Do you remember when we first started at WNEW and the old jocks hated us there?
Of course.
And we're broadcasting from New York City, and their argument with us was, "You're not from New York. You guys are Long Island guys." So what happened to us? Long Island's right there.
Yep.
But
to them, they're like, "You're not."
We don't live in Manhattan.
Yeah, you're not. You guys are foreigners.
You do now.
To this radio station. Well, I've been for a while.
I'm still Long Island. I'm not allowed to leave. I'm the king of Long Island trash now. I can't leave. It's my kingdom.
But now it'll be all of that fucking borough shit. It just is New Yorkville, man.
New Yorkville.
New Yorkville.
I like it.
Does everything have to end in Ville?
No.
Town.
All right, good.
You can vote on a name. I mean, I can't think of everything to say in this
He's just
country.
laying down the borders.
Hey, yeah, Eric is saying in Miami, Texarkana, so they sort of, they're open to the idea. They're just not all in yet.
Call it York.
I'm in. I like it.
All right, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Patrice, you fucking rule.
Love it.
Your logic is just beyond amazing.
This is like fucking PBS when Patrice is in. It's just educational broadcasting.
And I get all the grief.
Yes.
Fat fucking asshole. And then and you guys go safe and come to work.
Hey, great show today. Great show. Patrice is like, "You motherfucking piece of shit."
Why? Because I said just shitty Idaho is mad?
Who's going to be mad? Stop.
I forced you to pick the state for the slaves.
You're right.
Just grow your potatoes and shut your
dumb
face.
Potatoes. Get it.
Big Mama Prods on Twitter.
Yes.
That's the big plug today.